But what's the mood at USC? We've been doing the mood tracker in spring. What's the mood of the fan base? And tonight we decided to spin the needle. It landed on USC. And we all know Lincoln Riley watches every show, and he's probably pretty curious. He's been bunkered in. He's been getting ready for spring practice. He's probably wondering, hey, what do my fans think of me? You think Lincoln Riley's wondering that? I think he is. And so here is the official mood right now. This is certified. This is the official mood for USC fans entering 2026. I call the mood payday mood. Not the candy bar, not even the loose concept of you getting a physical paycheck or a direct deposit every 2 weeks into your account. Not that kind of payday. The kind of payday where, I don't know, maybe you needed some fast cash. Maybe you took out a loan. And maybe it's time to repay that loan. And maybe the bank, or maybe even back in the day, maybe a dude named Freddie, maybe a bookie from around the way, comes over and just kind of not so subtly lets you know, hey, you remember that money I loaned you? It's due back. I want it, plus interest. And that's kind of the vibe around USC fandom right now. USC fans were ecstatic when Lincoln Riley got hired there 5 years ago now. And he went 11-3 in his first year, and you're thinking, oh, this is the floor? Whoa. Well, it wasn't. So far, it's been the ceiling. But they didn't bail on him. They didn't. And they didn't even bail on him after year 2, 8-5. Okay, we regressed. We got to find our way. In this post-Caleb Williams world of ours, we got to find our way. And then it was 7-6. And that was uh-oh time. And 9-4 last year, mathematically, was the beginning maybe of an upswing, a little bit more of an upward trajectory, but it didn't really include many high points. The season didn't include many high points. And so people are looking around, and I don't blame them for feeling this way. And they're saying, hold up now. We were all bought in. We want a return on that emotional investment or just maybe our outright financial investment. If you're running USC, if you're a season ticket holder, maybe it's time for you to collect. And for you to collect, Lincoln Riley's got to deliver. Now, the bad news is they're 16-10 in conference play, in Big Ten play, since he's been there. The good news is I think there's a solid path for it to get better this year. I fully expect USC to be in the playoff conversation this year. So putting all my cards on the table, I'm kind of high on their possibility this year. And they don't start off with this murderer's row September. But when Oregon comes in there to the Coliseum, September 26th, that's the first time you'll watch a USC game, unless you're a Southern Cal fan. That's the first time you'll watch them this year. Hey guys, do me one favor. Check and see if you're subscribed to the channel. If you are, great. If you're not, it's that easy. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't sign you up for anything. It just helps us do the show this way forever. All right, back to the clip. Okay, and then they go to Penn State in early October. I don't want to overlook Washington. Okay, so Washington comes in there as well, sandwich spot. And then they go to Penn State on October 10th. That's probably the next time you'll see them. But they get Ohio State at home as well. They go to Indiana in November on my sister's birthday, no less. So it's not an easy schedule. But here's the thing. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years in now. This is the University of Southern California. Okay? This is not the kind of outfit that should need a navigable schedule. They shouldn't need 9 layups and then kind of hope the coin flips go their way. USC should be a problem for other folks because they're on their schedule. That's how it should be half a decade in to the Lincoln Riley tenure. Now, there are a lot of context clues, there's a lot of context piece that needs to be put in here, like 2 years ago when he kind of did the program reset. This is old hat now. We've talked about this a lot on the show, but like I said, if I'm a USC fan, I'm making my decision right there. And I'm either saying, nope, I'm giving this dude no leeway. He screwed up. He should never have brought Alex Grinch with him. He should never have had that bad a defensive staff here. So he doesn't get to hit reset in year 3. I either need to think that, or I need to say, okay, he made some imperfect moves. I'm going to grant him the leeway. I'm going to give him the equity. He's saying that he's going to reset this program. He's going to redefine the identity of this program. I know that's not going to happen overnight. So if I'm going to grant him this, he's got to get a minimum 2 more years runway. If you're in the latter camp, this is the year where you got to get your result. Now, if you were in the former camp, you've already just boycotted and stopped watching. But if you're in the latter camp, which I think most reasonable people would have been, it is totally fair for you to have high expectations this year. It is totally fair for you to say, if USC does not make the playoff this year, this guy has failed as the head coach here. I don't think that's unfair at all. He's got a third-year quarterback. They just landed the top recruiting class in the country, and while that's not immediately indicative of how this year should go on the field, it is a sign that, hey, the energy's changed there. Everything off the field is very buzzworthy. Everything off the field feels pretty good. Off the field doesn't matter if the on-field results don't follow. So this is the year. It's time. Lincoln Riley's gotten the payday. It's time for the fan base to get the payday. And that is how we conclude the USC Mood Tracker. Breaking news. It's not really breaking news. FanDuel has informed us. I guess this is kind of breaking news. I got this news like 5 minutes before the show. So FanDuel has informed us that conference tournaments are going on. That's not the breaking news. The breaking news is that the NCAA tournament happens shortly thereafter. That's also not the breaking news, come to think of it. The breaking news is that if you mosey on over to FanDuel right now, new signups get as much as $300 back in bonus bets when you're betting, what do they call it, Jesse? Tournament games? Bastardized pronunciation. If you're betting the tournament games, though, tournament games, yeah, new signups over there could get as much as $300 back in bonus bets. You'll see all the details over there. You can't miss it. In this crazy little scheme to make a profit, FanDuel has made it glaringly obvious how you access all of this. But you know what? You could go over there and make a profit. In fact, I encourage you to go win at FanDuel. Another thing to watch as the seasons change, it's been crazy in the Northeast. There were places in the Northeast, Maryland, Virginia, that were in the 80s yesterday that saw heavy snowfall today. And the reason I mention that is because had you prepared yourselves by shopping at PateStateMaterial.com, you could have been equipped for both days. Because we've got a number of very, very fashionable short sleeve shirts, but we've got some more heavy-duty winter gear. And just imagine the flex it is when you're the only guy in the cul-de-sac that's wearing the Pate State Strength and Conditioning short sleeve shirt one day, and then the very next day, you got the full Freights hoodie on. Maybe even buy a pillow while you're at it. A lot of good items over there at the Pate State store, PateStateMaterial.com.